everyone. I've decided to join you today to allow Jonathan to come through and to speak about the realms of spirit and any other subjects that he wishes to cover. So I'm going to go into trance, and I hope you enjoy this, and hopefully we'll be doing more of these in the future. So I shall go into trance now, and I hope you enjoy.
Yeah, before we do, these videos are available via audio on Spotify and other podcast apps now, and there's more on there as well if you'd like to have a listen. So we'll leave you to go into trance.
All right. Hello everyone.
Hello, Jonathan, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We often hear you talk about a certain subject in your videos, but we've never really asked you properly about it in any of our videos. So I wondered if you could explain in detail what are spiritual realms.
I would say that spiritual realms are a little bit like how they describe the many mansions in your Bibles of your religiousness. That they are the soul moving to the higher planes, the higher realms, whichever you wish to call it. As you live each lifetime, you will move through these realms. But because you become consciousness, you are able to visit these realms and move through them. So, for instance, you would not be seen as lower or higher than another, but the more you move through the realms, the closer you become to the highest point of not needing to incarnate any longer, and you will move closer to the brightest light, closer to God. And that being that you call God is just an identification, a name that you give. Each soul wants to become so very close to that existence. And so through each lifetime, it is growth. It is the soul's growth and the soul's wisdom of unconditional love as it learns through each lifetime that allows it to move through these realms. Now, in some of these realms, you have halls of learning where you can go and you can contemplate your thought. You are thought. You can plan perhaps another lifetime that you are going to live. Many things that you can do because you become only the thought. So you can be in any particular realm that you would want to be if you would want to visit it. I guess you could say it is much of a, if I'm going to explain it in a human point of view, in a human way of explaining it, that if you wanted to go around to your friend's house and visit, you could. You see, you could knock on their door and say, well, can I come into your home? It looks very different to mine. It is a different place. My place is what I know. Your place is a different place. I'm coming to visit you. And then you would leave that place when you had finished, and you would perhaps return to your own abode. And you would recognize that abode, and you would stay there, and you would exist there. So you see, as you become greater within yourself, so shall you move to another place, a little bit like you moving house, so to speak, isn't it? A lot of people may say, well, how can it be similar to that? But you are moving into a different sphere, a realm, a place that perhaps you may not have visited before, but you have wanted to be there, so to speak. We have beautiful scenery where we are. It looks much like your earth, but without all of this, you see. You could just imagine a home to be in. For instance, if you particularly like the home that you lived in on the earth, you may want to create it with your consciousness, and you would use it for the time that you would want it there, and then when you no longer required it to think about, it would dissipate. So you see, you move through the realms, you have greater knowledge each time you have had a lifetime about the unconditional love, and you move to a higher place, a place of greater knowledge. And the more you move through those realms, the less possibility that you would want to incarnate again. So a lot of people will say, well, do they have numbers? No, they don't. There is no such thing as that. But in each realm, there are many different places to be. There are many different places to learn, and many different souls to see. Yes. So there is no particular existence of a higher or a lower, so to speak. It is where you would want to be, what you had learned at each lifetime that would take you there. So I hope that you would sort of get an explanation that you could understand about that.
Yeah, thank you, Jonathan. Is it possible for people to move through realms during a lifetime?
I would say yes, because you will learn many, many things during a particular lifetime. You will not necessarily learn all in one lifetime because you couldn't. But if you were to, for example, become spiritual and spiritually awakened, that would give you a knowledge that you didn't have before, that you didn't perhaps believe in or exist in before. And that would then move you to a greater place within your soul's journey. You would learn about home again. You would become interested and inquisitive about it. And that would allow you to move through the realms of spirituality because you had awoken, you had become or learned how to become your true self. The human being is never going to be perfected. It will always have perhaps emotional issues to overcome. It is endless. So the realms of spirit really are infinite. They are eternal, endless. A little bit like your universe. that has many planets within it that you could visit it within your thoughts. So you see, that is another way of moving through the realms. You may want to have a journey through the universe, and you could use your consciousness and freedom of thought to go around the universe and literally visit the planets, because no harm shall come to you with visiting these planets. So some of the souls want to visit the universe and find out more about it. So they will literally take their consciousness to the universe, and they will be able to travel around it at speed. Thought is instantaneous. The minute you think a thought in your mind, it is present. And because we become the thought in our realm, we are it. You are there in an instant, a blink of an eye, that you could move through to this realm and then come back to that realm in an instant. You may want to go to the higher realm to learn something, come back down to that particular realm. It doesn't make you a bad soul if you come down to that realm. And if you had noticed that when you listen to these near-death experiences, that some of them, if they go across in trauma, may go through the lower realms of spirit. And they say that it is a very unpleasant place where they have gone across to the spirit world with thoughts in their mind that were negative. They have gone across with a traumatic state of mind emotionally, so that draws them through the lower realms. Some of them may call out for help, and they go immediately to a higher realm that has light within it and love. And so therefore they have travelled through realms to get to that realm, but they can be there instantly. It is just merely a thought away. So we are the thought, and your thought is much of an empowerment. You could have several thoughts a day. You could have one thought in that corner of your mind and another in that corner of your mind. You see how your thoughts can bilocate. Well, because you become consciousness, you can be anywhere and everywhere. If you were to have an out-of-body experience, you would be able to perhaps visit the realm of spirit, so to speak. It would be the astral realm. Now, we have what you call the astral. When you go to sleep at night, sometimes your soul will get out of the body. It will not die, because the body will still be functioning. And you will be in a deep state of relaxation within your sleep, and you will have an out-of-body experience perhaps, and come into the astral to meet your loved ones and perhaps have a chat with them. Or you may feel yourself flying around somewhere in your dream. Well, you are traveling around the astral, in the astral state of mind. That is a realm in itself. It is the realm between the earth and spirit. So many people that are living on this earth go there regularly without they realize it. They think it is just a dream, and they wake up in the morning and they say, well, I have seen my loved one. I went to sleep last night and I felt things were real, and I went to visit my loved one briefly, and then I woke up. I remembered it. Well, you have been into the astral, and then the soul that has passed over will come through the realms of spirit to join you in that particular realm of the astral. And you will communicate, usually quite briefly, and then they will move back through the realms to spirit where they had come from, and you would wake up. You see, so even the astral is a realm. This earth that you are living in is a physical realm. It is the most physical realm that you could possibly live in, because you have physical matter not only surrounding you but within you, because you are a physical body.
Would you say it can have an effect on our life here, how many realms we've moved through in spirit?
Well, I would say you get the sensation sometimes when you meet someone that they are an old soul. You look into their eyes, you seem to have the knowledge that they have had many lifetimes and that they are the old soul. I'm sure that most of you will have come across that. And then on occasion you will meet somebody and you feel that you have known them before in other lifetimes. Well, they have moved through those lifetimes with you, and perhaps they have moved up through the realms and decided to stay in spirit for a while and come back here to visit. So yes, it does have an effect of what you haven't overcome in the previous lifetime. It will be brought back here with you to this lifetime to overcome. Or you will come back here perhaps with the plan that you are going to become spiritual at last, in a state of mind that you would want to be in this life. You wish to become spiritual. So you choose a time that is most suitable for you to become awakened. And when you come to that point in your life, you finally begin to awaken, and you have forgotten it, but you remembered it where your soul is concerned, but your ego mind didn't. And of course, you will become spiritual, and that will have a greater effect on your soul when you go back home again. That any fears that you bring into this world with you can sometimes be overcome through, I would say, going into a state of hypnosis and going back through your past life experiences and overcoming them that way. But they cannot all be overcome at once, and it may take a few sessions before you actually decide to overcome it. Some of the traumas that you have in life are in this lifetime. Some of the souls will come back into the world to teach each other things, even if they are perhaps a little unkind to one another. They may learn something from it, and they are helping their soul to grow, you see. I know it seems a little bit what you would think as negative as looking at it from that point of view, but I would say it does help the soul to create inner strength and belief in themselves. They have learned something from that negative, and it has brought them to the positive, to become a greater person within. So that will also help you if you are going to overcome your fears or your emotional issues in this life. It will help your soul to raise to the higher realms, you see.
Okay. Would you say there's an ultimate realm that souls are aiming for?
Ah, goodness me, like the moth to the light. Yes, they want to be as close to God as possible, close to that empowerment of unconditional love that is, I would say, reigns over everything. Yes, every soul would want to be there, to almost become a part of that. You are a part of that. You are an existence of that, a sort of a piece of that. But you want to get closer to that. You see, the love is so empowering. There is nothing like it. It is inexplicable, even to myself.
Okay. Well, I think you've answered about everything on spiritual realms, Jonathan.
Well, there are many more things to say, but I will say to you that we can go over it another time if you wish.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Well, thank you for joining us today, and we'll leave it there and let Elaine come back.
You are very welcome.
Thank you.
God bless you all.